So, in our Discord community, we just had a conversation about the book The Secret. I've really hate this book. I really don't like it. Some of you might already know that, but I want to make this video to make a little of my points a little bit more clear, and I also want to change the way I'm vlogging a bit, because I think if I'm grabbing topics out of our community that we are talking about right now, it really makes it more authentic than like pulling out a topic and make a dedicated video about it. So let's get back to topic though. I've read The Secret about 8 years ago, and the basic message is a lot about positive thinking, and basically says it's scientifically proven that if you think positively, if you self-affirm, it will lead to results and it will come back to you in a magical way from the universe. So first of all, I really don't like if you use scientific terms, if it's not science at all. Like it's completely pseudoscience. There are a lot of critics who also criticize this, and because even in science, like 90% of all research is like flawed, and is 90% is flawed and cannot be used. So it's very tough to improve our science, and I don't like if people just throw around with scientific terms without actually scientific evidence, because it's so hard anyway to find scientific evidence. So it's so tough to hold this. Like this is good. So, and yeah, the second thing is I just don't think his methods are working. Like I've believed it too, and I know a lot of people who are believing it, and I'm not saying you should not think positively or you should think negatively, but that's too much in this book. And it's basically a way of selling the dream easy. So it sounds very easy, just change your thoughts and you will achieve anything you want, but that's not what I have experienced, and not also what I've not learned from other successful people to be successful. And also nobody of successful people recommended me that book. So, and right now I'm reading Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, and finally I find out why it is like that. First of all this positive power has a backside too. So if you push yourself a lot, you will get it back later. And for a lot of people, and that's also what the science shows us so far, it will lead to more suffering, because there will be that point where you realize, okay, it's not that easy, and I would rather assume it's way more harder. And that's what I see a lot of people like talking about working 20 hours a day do. They always, when they try to achieve something, they imagine it way more harder, so they are prepared to put in the work. And often maybe it's easier than it's thought, but I would always choose it to be easier than I initially thought when I made the plan than to be harder, because as we people are, we are not as tough as we think most of the time. So if it's way harder than we thought it was, then we are way more likely to jump out of the journey and to stop working and to stop hustling. And when it's easier, we get more pumped. That's how I feel it is. And yeah, like, so basically my approach to be successful is a little bit different. And when I was most productive in my life, I basically hadn't even time to think about it. Like I was so much in the past. For example, also when we build up Raise Your Edge, like we were working 16 to 18 hours a day, and I have not even thought about the goal while I was in the execution. And that's also what is Eckhart Tolle saying in The Power of Now. You really have to separate the situations where you do plans and where you execute. And if you spend so much time to push yourself and to affirm yourself, you have an unrealistic expectation of what the hustle is about. So the hustle is really like, you can't think about anything else. You're just hustling, you do the task, and that's when you're most productive, 100%. And that's what I say, and all other successful people say I know, it's not. I don't know too many stories, to be honest, of people that said, yeah, I just started going in front of the mirror every day and say, yeah, I'm the best, I'm gonna make it, I will be rich soon, and they made rich. Like, when most people that have a success story, they haven't talked they've talked a little bit about motivation, but I feel way more about the execution. There was so much in, like, Ben, for example. He did all the studying, and if you read his first blog post, it was not about how I'm going to be the best, or I will be the best poker player, I will be the best tournament player, I will do that and that. No, he talked about what he's doing now, what he's doing in the moment, how many hours he will study, and it's improvement, because the journey is the goal, and that's how it should supposed to be. Live in the moment and execute now. And also one thing, last thing I want to add, like just yesterday I had to move all our poker blogs and the corresponding topics, and I had to read into all of it, and just from skimming through it I saw that those I saw that those blogs that were talking a lot about I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna be the best poker player, I'm gonna be that and that, have way less posts than those threads where people said, okay, I've made this plan, I'm gonna study 3 hours a day, I'm gonna analyze 3 hands, 5 hands, 10 hands, I'm gonna use ICMize, I'm gonna play that, I'm gonna play that, and then the whole thread is about evaluation. Okay, what have I done the last week and what I'm doing now? Maybe the first one was shit, but while doing it, the person learned, okay, I have to study more, I have to study different, or I have to play more, whatever. And it's basically all about the execution. It's all about what you're gonna do. It's not about, yeah, I need to be I'm gonna become so good, I'm gonna be that and that. No, it's people spend way too much time thinking about this stuff. Like, I don't want to say you don't need motivation. I sometimes use it, but when I look back into my life, I valued motivation way more, and now I value execution way more. And I hope I made my points clear. We can keep discussing, though. I'm always open-minded to hear other opinions. Just not about pseudoscience. Thanks for watching.